Okay, so let's find the surface area of this cylinder. So we were given the radius and the height. So one of the bases is going to have an area of 49 pi because it's pi r squared. So when we double it, we get 98 pi. So that's going to be the surface area of just the bases. So the lateral area is going to be 2 pi r h. Again, that was explained in the last video. If you were to fold or uncurve that lateral area, it would make a rectangle where the height was 10 and the base was the circumference of the circle, which is diameter times pi. So it would be 14 pi. So 2 pi r h comes out to be 140 pi, and we're going to add those together, and we get that comes out to be 238 pi square centimeters as the surface area of the cylinder. Okay, now for this cone, we're going to find the surface area again. And so the surface area of a cone formula was pi r squared plus pi rl. So we know r, so that part's just going to be 16 pi plus pi rl. So we know pi, that's just pi. We know r is 4. L is going to be the slant height. Whoops. Alright, so L is this slant height right here, which forms a right triangle with the actual height and the radius. So if we do 5 squared plus 4 squared, that's 25 plus 16. That's going to come out to be 41. So that slant height is going to be root 41. So if we want to keep this exact, we could just write it as 16 pi plus 4 root 41 pi. And that would be an acceptable answer. It'd be square centimeters. Another way you could write it is to factor out the pi and write it like this, right? And that would also be acceptable. And if you wanted to know what it was in a decimal, then you type all that into your calculator and get the surface area as a decimal. And it comes out to be 130.6 approximately square centimeters. Alright, so surface areas of cones and cylinders, if you know the formula, it's pretty much just plugging in with the occasional have to find the slant height if you're not given that. So it's just kind of putting everything we've learned together. Okay, 2 more problems we're going to do have to deal with composite solids. So like a composition is like you put a bunch of things together into one piece of work. So a composite solid is like you composing multiple solids together and adding up all their surface areas. So if you want to try this on your own and pause the video, go for it. You can do that now, but here's how you would do it. So we're going to start off by looking at just the rectangular part of this. So we have 2 rectangles that are 9 by 35. So they're going to, and there's 2 of them. So the area of these 2 parts is going to come out to be 630 square centimeters. Okay. Then we also have this bottom part down here, which is just 1 rectangle that's 42 by 9. And that's going to have an area of 378 square centimeters. Then we also have these rectangles on the side that are 42 by 35. 42 by 35. There's one here and there's one here, and there's 2 of them. So if we do 42 by 35 and then double it, that comes out to be a surface area of 2,940 square centimeters. Alright, so that leaves us with everything but this now top part. And the top part is a cylinder. And it seems to be exactly half of a cylinder because you got the 2 bases, which are half circles, and then you have this lateral area here, which is just half of the lateral area of the cylinder. So if the formula for a cylinder surface area is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h, then we want to get half a cylinder, so the 2's will cancel out, so we're left with pi r squared plus pi r h. Okay, so now we have to find the area and the height of that cylinder. Well, the height of the cylinder, I picked a bad color there, this would be 42, so we're going to plug in 42 in for the height, and the radius would be well, the diameter of that cylinder is 9, so we're going to use 4.5 for that. So now I'm going to type all that into my calculator. Pi 4.5 squared plus pi times 4.5 times 42. All right, and that will come out to be 657.045. So we'll just round to 0.0. Okay, and I didn't put it in terms of pi because there's rounded parts and non-rounded parts. Something like this you probably wouldn't put in terms of pi, but you could. All right, so now if you just add up all of these areas together, you get the final surface area, which comes out to be 4,605 approximately square centimeters. Okay, one more video with one more problem, and that's the end of this lesson.